Hi guys. There's a video I promised on um, his final research project. What you'll be looking at is a topic that is related to education, and it can have a technology spin. If you've noticed the theme of our readings this semester, that is exactly kind of what we've been discussing all semester. And right now, the education is in such upheaval. There's lots of different things going on, both at the national level, state level, locally. Schools are closing. Administrative things are happening. There's a lot out there going on. And what I've done is provided you with a list of topics from which you can choose. There's 21 topics there, which it looks very daunting, but I want to give you a huge pool of topics to pull from. Now, if you think of something that's not on that list, definitely let me know if that's what you're thinking about, so that way I can help you out. Now, one topic that is not mentioned on there that does not need approval per se is about Common Core. And in the last few weeks, it seems like that's all you've heard in the media and read in the newspaper is about Common Core and the frustrations that teachers are having in implementing it and the effects it's having on even the youngest students. So that is another potential topic that you could write about. I've given you until this weekend, the 16th, to turn in your topic selection. Now there is a folder in the Writing Labs, subfolder in the Writing Labs folder called Research Project, and there is a sheet in there about topic selection. And there's also a section on another handout on forming a research question and a research outline. Now you'll be doing the topic selection and the research question for this week, and the research outline would be next week. Now, I'm giving you until November 20th, I believe, to turn in or to change your topic. If you start, doing a little research and you see that maybe it's not going the way you'd like it to, or you're just really not crazy about the information you're finding, once you've turned in that first topic, you can change it, but you only have until the 20th to do that. Now, this question that you're going to be formulating, this research question, is important in that it will help direct your research. And it can't be a question that you can answer with either yes or no. Because if you can answer with a yes or no, then you are not solidifying exactly what it is you're looking for. It'll be difficult for you to do your research. Now, one of the things I am suggesting that you do for this project, because you will need a minimum of 4 sources, is in this early phase with your topic selection and all that, to use something called Google Scholar. So if in your browser you type in the address scholar.google.com, that will bring you to the Google Scholar webpage. And in that page, you will be able to type in your keywords or your topic, and you will get, I guess you could call them pre-approved type sources. They are from academic journals and from really strong sources, versus if you were to type it in your keywords into the regular Google search engine, you're getting like the Huffington Post and other sources that are maybe not as credible and as useful. So I definitely recommend you use Google Scholar. Now, once you have your research question turned in, you'll begin outlining. And I have given you a sample outline. You do not need to necessarily fill in the blanks of that outline or use that outline specifically. Whatever makes sense for you, use it. So if you are the type of person that likes to use bubbles or free write or do some other type of listing, whatever has worked for you in the past, use that now. So just so that way I can kind of see where where you're thinking of your research going. And granted, I understand at this point you may not have a full picture of where you're headed, but just give me some preliminary thoughts. Now, the biggest section of this project has to do with research and drafting. And this is where you're going to actually do a little bit of collaboration. Once I have all of the research topics submitted, what I will do is then I will look to see where there's overlap. So let's just say, we'll use the Common Core example. Let's just say 3 of you are working on Common Core. Then what I will do is I will put those 3 people into a group, and as you're researching, I'm going to create a repository on here. It's not up yet because I don't quite know how many I'll need, but I'll create a repository so that way as you're working, you can upload links or hard copies of the sources you're finding. So instead of each person needing, okay, let's say each person uploads or links to 4 sources in that group of 3. Now instead of you only having those 4 sources you found to work with, now you have a pool of 12 to work with. And do you have to use all 12? Absolutely not. And there may be some overlap. But what this is going to do is open up more possibilities for you. So let's just say as you're getting closer to like maybe the end deadline, or it's after I've reviewed it, but you still think you maybe need one more source, go to that repository and look through what's there, and pull from one of those sources. This is really a way for you to collaborate together to maximize your research potential. Because remember, we have 20 some people here, doing all of this legwork. Why not do some sharing and really get a bigger pool of sources than you could find on your own? Now, the last part of this project is a presentation component, and you may be thinking, how can we do this in an online format? We're not, are we meeting somewhere on campus, or how does this work? What I have done in the past, which has been pretty successful, is this. I will allow you to do a PowerPoint presentation. I will allow you to do Prezi, which is I've done a little bit this semester. If you need help with that, you can toss me an email and I can walk you through the basics of it. It's something that I'm still learning, so I know how to do a basic Prezi. A lot of times they'll provide a template. All you have to do is fill in their blanks. But I will definitely help you if you need it. You can also do a YouTube video, which I've had students do in the past, or you could do a podcast. You could also, if you find great images that will help with your presentation, or maybe there's a TED Talk that would work, or another YouTube video that's not you speaking but that can enhance your presentation, definitely use it and link to it. Now for your speaking part or your presentation part of it, I'm looking for 3 to 5 minutes. Now, how that would work with like a PowerPoint or a Prezi is I will break that down further as far as what I'm looking for specifically, slide by slide, or chunk of information by chunk of information. If you're doing a YouTube or a podcast, keep your speaking to 3 to 5 minutes. And definitely don't do what I do. I'm an ummer, in case you haven't noticed. And see, there I go again. I will also include a rubric that I will be using to evaluate presentations. I need to adjust it slightly because of the fact that not everybody's going to be doing a video presentation. But if you choose to do that, that is absolutely fine. I will start accepting presentations during that last week of classes, all the way through to the end of finals week. Same thing for the final draft. If you're ready to go with a final draft, feel free to turn it in ahead of time. If you have any questions about any of this, I hopefully have been clear in what I'm looking for here. This is this is what's called a semi-closed universe, in that type of assignment, in that I've given you topics to work within, but really you can get very specific with them. Like, let's just grab a topic here real quick. For instance, I have a student who is into criminal justice. He's a criminal justice major, and he was interested in the idea of the searching of student belongings, but he wanted to look at it from the perspective of a criminal justice major, and I said that's fine. I've also had a student who asked me about using the social networking sites in class topic, and she said, well, that plays into another topic that's not mentioned on the list of the idea of cyberbullies, and that they use things like social networks to harass their classmates. And I said, absolutely, you can definitely incorporate it that way as well. So there's like the very broad category of technology in the classroom. Well, could that mean using smart boards, laptops, tablets, different types of like assistive technology, document readers, things like that. I mean, these really have very broad, they're broad topics, so that way you can really narrow into what is relevant for you, because I want you to make this personal and to research an aspect of those broad topics that really speaks to you as who you are as a person, and what you believe in. Because if you're just researching a topic for the sake of researching it, I mean, that's fine, but you're not as invested until the topic is meaningful for you. For instance, when I was an undergraduate, it was just research something, which was could have been very disastrous. But what I chose to do was research the topic of opening adoption records, which is a topic that's adoption's very close to my heart. And I found out such great information through it, that research paper, and that it didn't feel like work researching it when I was finding everything, because I was excited. I wanted to know more, and when I would find one piece of information, that led me to searching for another piece of information, and it really, I don't often get to say that I had fun doing research, but this time I did. And actually, a couple years ago, I did a research project as part of a application process to UAlbany, and and I believe that's the sample research paper that I have in the research writing folder. And what that project was about, online writing services. Like, think of our learning center on campus. You physically go there, but what if you could have a consultation with a writing consultant from your school, from the comforts of your own home, and get that same face-to-face interaction? So that's what I wrote about. And I was very excited about that, because that's a pilot that I'm working on right now. And how cool would that be to be able to connect to another writer and talk about writing using using technology? How cool would that be? So pretty much I've got everything set up for you in the research writing final project folder, and in the writing lab folder. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. I would also like you to really consider that poll question that I have put on our main page about whether or not you would like me to do video explanations. I have a whiteboard that I can use, and if you want to know how to cite a particular journal article or a web page or a magazine article, and you're unsure of how that would look, email me with all the information. Here's the author, the title, publication information, the whole bit, and I can throw it up on a whiteboard in a video demonstration and verbally walk you through it, versus just saying, okay, here's how it's done, and type it out. Then all you do is copy and paste. It's easier to actually see it in action. So if that's something you're interested in, fill out that poll, let me know what you think, and I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, we can do one-on-one consultations through email. So enjoy your Veterans Day. Make sure you think a veteran. Snag a poppy if you can. I have mine down in my car. and I will be in touch.